If I like start like bugging out, Trey's gonna take over.
Hey, yo, if you want, you can get on mic 3, man.
Alright, put me on there.
Nah, but we all grew up at like the skate park and they're all together. And that's where like
Great.
Dirtbag was founded.
Uh-huh.
So I mean that's kind of how like we all got into this. So.
Huh. What? It's just, that's dope. Alright.
It's been a while. See your cousin more around too, right?
Oh, yeah.
3, 2. So, Sam, how's it going?
That's good.
Can you give the listeners who do not know you some background information about yourself? Where you're from, what you grew up doing, like your Grimaldi personal brand, what you do for the culture, etc. You know, a little bit of everything.
My real name's Sam. I'm from Norwalk, but I kind of go by Pope Norwalk, which was a joke that happened in high school, and the name just kind of stuck. So,
how did it stick? Like,
we used to take like selfies next to girls' butts, like, and do the praying hands.
uh-huh.
And then like that's how the name Pope kind of came about when we were in high school. He went to the other Norwalk high school, but me and Trey.
Okay.
And then like that name just kind of stuck. But,
Yeah, no, to be honest, I really thought your first name was Pope for so long.
People are like send me emails with like first name Pope, last name Grimaldi to sign contracts. I'm like, I could sign it, but like I don't think this is like legal.
Yeah. That's funny. Oh, what inspired you to become a young entrepreneur?
I don't know. Probably growing up at the skate park where all of us hung out and just like buying Dirtbag back when it was starting off in Norwalk, because Phil was like a grade higher than us in high school. Just like buying that when it started off, and then it's like, all right, you kind of see like the clothes is one thing, but then you kind of see like the music and like the skateboard. Like we grew up at the skate park, the skateboarding all around it. It was like
It was the culture.
cool like mash of culture.
Yeah.
I was like, I could be a consumer of it forever, or I could like try my hand at it. And for years it kind of didn't really work. Like inexperience, kind of just making stuff you know how to make that's not that great. But like over time, like
Learning as the process
it
goes
evolves.
along.
You
Yeah,
get better
exactly.
at it. You build a following, get more people supporting it.
And now you got a 5,000 like follower account with
On the new brand, that's
Yeah.
kind of crazy because it's literally not even 3 months old.
Bro, that's manifest. That's all I can say.
I'm not complaining. I'm happy. I hope I can keep doing this. I hope I can do it for the rest of my life. To provide people with affordable clothing and make a living off it for the rest of my life, that would make me so happy.
It's awesome. It's awesome, man. So, who are your inspirations?
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know. I wouldn't even say someone like who does clothes. Like, okay, people I would love to hang out with, like Elon Musk, Lil Uzi, Bam Margera,
Okay.
from like Viva La Bam.
Yeah, of course.
All that. I like
Young Bam, like
I just saw the Bam documentary where he's kind of like old and like going
Depressed
through
and-
the
yeah.
depression and stuff now. Like
He's
I'm
getting
like
back at it.
I'm like, wow, this man was young when we were kids and now he's like a middle-aged dude.
Yeah.
I love people like that, not necessarily like people who do clothing or like music, but like people who are just pioneers in their own field, which I think like all those people I just named are.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. Can you give the listeners that do not know about George some information about your friend George Oliver?
George Oliver, we don't have any like businesses we own together, so to speak, but we collaborate on a bunch of projects. He helps me out with design and stuff. He's releasing his piece. Actually, is today the 9th? Yeah, he's dropping his new jacket today.
Is that white and black
Yeah,
one?
the white and black jacket today. I gotta go home and get one now. But he's
awesome.
one of the best up and coming
Oh yeah.
high-end designers. I wish I could do what George did in terms of like high-end design. Like I've made a few like cut and sewn pieces, but he's a god at it.
That's awesome.
So he helps me out with designs. I help him out with like the business side of stuff, and we've just been friends. I was his first design sale back when I was doing Trias in 2015, and he was just starting off like a youngin.
That's awesome. So when did you become friends with Mike Green, and more like when did you start managing him?
So I like met Mike at this like little concert that Noah G put together. Have you interviewed Noah?
Not yet, but me and him are talking about
yeah.
definitely getting like Wi-Fi's funeral up here as well as him coming up with them. So
Word, yeah. But
shout
Noah,
out Noah.
yeah, Noah's one of the few people like actually caring about all these artists and trying to put on events to like spread all these artists. So shout out to Noah. But damn, my phone is blowing up. I met Noah booked Mike and Lonnie to perform at this little concert thing in Danbury. I met him there, and I was just a fan. And I was like, it was good to see other people doing things in Connecticut. And then I started managing Mike. I don't even know, maybe like half a year ago, maybe a little less time. But he literally texted me and he was like, "Yo, I had a dream that you were my manager." And we were like, all right, let's run with it. See what happens.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly what you got to do. It's like,
yeah, it was a little before summer started.
March, April.
oh wow. Yeah, no, that's literally right when I started, like, right before the breakthrough started. So, like, to be honest, to me, it seems like you guys have been, like, a duo forever. But, like,
yeah, I had been following you on Twitter before that.
I appreciate that, man. I've been, I didn't think anything like this would come out of what I was doing on Twitter, but once I realized that, like, it was to push the culture forward, I would not, like, do anything else. Like, this is what I want to do, and
I feel like a lot of people kind of don't, like, think it's going to end up where they end up. Like,
yeah.
I was doing, like, I was about to go to college for, like, computer science.
That's what I'm doing right now. I hate it.
And now I make clothes and, like, I co-own, like, a news app and some other, I never saw myself doing that. I never saw myself, like, walking into Sony and, like, doing music, like, you know, working with artists.
Yeah.
I never saw but, like, I wouldn't change it.
No, like, you're living the dream. You could say
Hopefully,
that.
yeah, I hope it I just want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, man. So, when did you start managing Jaden Lowe?
Jaden was one of my first supporters. Shout out to Jaden back when I was doing that Miss You hats and all the Tria stuff back in 2015, like to the beginning, like the first half of 2016. And then he posted a picture of this pair of floral pants that he had sewn.
The most fire floral pants I've ever seen.
And actually, Jake retweeted it, and I saw it, and I was like, yo, how many pairs do you think you're gonna sell? Like, is this your first shop? He's like, yeah, maybe like 10, 20 pairs. I was like, bro, we can make this much bigger. Like,
oh, so much.
He just had supported me, so it was like, it felt like, he had to spread my stuff when I was starting off.
So might as well help him out. Yeah.
Help him, and we both benefit from it.
Oh yeah, and you see people like what Puya had them on, Felly had them on.
Puya hit us up personally. He was like, yo, how much for these? And I was like, I had known Puya for a few years, but I was like, yo, like, you could buy them for $80, but I'd rather, like, send you a pair for free and, you retweet the release. Because I'd rather have your support than, like, your one-time payment.
Your one-time payment, exactly. You'd rather have him be like, yo, I really mess with this vision, instead of saying, like, I got this pair of pants for $80.
There's a lot of artists who are just not great people. Puya is one of, like, the greatest, humble,
I love Puya.
People.
He's been an inspiration since, like, 2011.
We made a shirt together in 2014. When I was doing my first brand in high school, until like right after high school, called Ruthless. It was like, like we wanted to make clothes, but we didn't really know what we were doing.
Yeah.
And Puya and me, we met at Rampage in Bridgeport because he was performing there, and I went there the night before while they were checking out the venue, and we ended up making a shirt together. But that was back when he was small. That was back when I was an absolute nobody.
Yeah.
But no, it's good to see, like, after, like, a few years, like, reconnecting.
Yeah, no, and to think where Puya is at right now, like, I think the past two out, he had one album, his own album. It was, like, number 2 to Drake, and then he had to drop out of school with Fat Nick, and that came at number 2 to, like, Kendrick or something.
Puya's showing that you could be, like, an underground underdog, like, you could be like one of the nobodies and make a living for yourself, make a life for yourself. You don't have to sign to a major label. You could
do it all on your own.
You could independently do what you want in life if you're really going to try hard enough and put that the work and the hours in.
That's awesome, man. For other managers listening in, what's the best way to juggle everything? More like, how do you manage to find time to do everything?
I'm still figuring that out.
Yeah.
I'm honestly still figuring that out. I was talking to Mike this morning, I was saying this morning in our little business group chat we have, I was like, yo, I didn't anticipate myself being this busy with Half Evil. Like, it came out of nowhere. I want to make sure, I'm not putting anybody, any of the other people I work with to the side.
You want to make sure everybody gets their little spot.
Care of.
Exactly. No, it's hard because, I just started something called Shumi Shumi's what like started the breakthrough and everything, and I got a couple artists which are really just my friends that are coming over and we're working together as a team. But like I am the guy that's leading everybody, so I have to be like, all right, I'm gonna get you a song here, I'm gonna try to find a beat for you, and it's like
It's juggling.
it really is. It's hard, but at the same time it's so rewarding.
But like if let's say like I'm working with like 5 people and they're each doing like a different kind of thing, right? Like or like 2 of them are doing clothes, 1 or 2 of them are doing music, I'm doing whatever and clothes in the app.
Yeah.
If one project gets big, then we're able, like if the clothing gets big, all right, then like everybody that I work with, I could put in the clothing and then help them get views. Or if the app gets big, then I could put all the people I work with on the app. And
on the app, yep.
Like it's each about like, all right, if one person levels up, then we use that to pull the next person up. And it's like what Jaden Smith said about the staircase. Like if you see someone like 20 steps above you, like are you going to try to walk around or like, you know, pull each other up?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Benefit each other.
Interesting. So can you explain Eugen Creations to the listeners that don't know about it?
Yeah, it's a creative news app. It's basically made like for the underdogs by the underdogs. Like we want to, and it's basically like Hypebeast or Complex, but we want to focus on the people that are up and coming instead of the already like, you know, top 10. There's no reason to keep giving articles to the top 10 over and over. They don't need it.
Yeah, they already got the shine.
The people who need it are the people who are up and coming, the people who are spending every dollar of their paycheck, you know, like on food and studio equipment and studio time and like whatever they might be doing, samples if they're doing clothing,
just to get the dream,
whatever, just to try to hope for a chance to get like
that's awesome.
Dream.
What sparked this idea?
I was running like I used to like pay these like big fashion blogs to like, you know, help me with marketing before like I knew how to do any of my own like marketing stuff back when I was younger, and then I ended up buying one of the blogs and like the Twitter blogs.
Okay.
And then John, who created the Eugen Creations app, he's from Atlanta. He's a year older than me. He DM'd me like, hey, like, you know, we want help with marketing, and I was like, dude, I don't want payment. I want to be a part of this because I believe in it. Because normally the people who hit me up for payment are, you know, like just the average like brand, the average SoundCloud rapper. But like I saw this app and it was like, this is different.
Yeah,
like,
it's one of its own. Yeah, unique.
I believed in his idea, and like I think it's a multi-million-dollar idea, and like
it's
something that can
awesome
help, like,
app.
Something that could help like literally tens and thousands of people. Like we've already helped out thousands of people get a little buzz. Like
I can only imagine.
I want to help 100,000 people.
And then after 100,000, 200,000.
Yeah, and just keep going.
That's awesome, man.
So that's how I got involved on that.
So what does the newest update add to the app?
Basically, like the older version of the app was kind of like a MySpace type of feel.
Okay.
And we're trying to be like Tesla.
You want it streamlined.
Yeah, this is trying to be like this is like a clean. I said more clean. This is a cleaner layout, and just like a cleaner layout, better improved features, ways for the creatives who are on it and like the users who use it to actually interact with each other. So you can be like, all right, I'm a clothing designer, but like I need a graphic like artist to help me out with something. You could find someone on the app who
does
something else.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like it's basically like LinkedIn
for the music and multi-entertainment industry.
It's LinkedIn, but not ugly.
I like it. No, that's awesome, man. So transitioning over from Eugen Creations to Half Evil, where did the Half Evil brand originate from?
I've the Half Evil was my friend Lewis. He hit me up and he was like, he's very low key, like he doesn't use a lot of social media, but he hit me up with this picture of Marilyn Manson.
Okay.
And Marilyn Manson had a leather jacket on, and it had like a patch that said like, you know, Half Evil on it. And he was like, yo, like I like this patch. Like it wasn't a brand, it was, you know, just like a random patch that had stuck onto a jacket. And I was like, yo, like we could do. I'm like, the numbers are 333, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, we could do $3 shirts every month, and that's how we could like
genius,
kind of help people, draw people in. So he came to me with the idea and the first design, and I was like, yo, let's do $3 shirts, because like a lot of these streetwear brands are taxing kids. Like,
oh yeah,
you're taxing kids who are like in high school, working a part-time job, like making like $100 a week. Like I used to be that. Like I was blowing all my money on Supreme.
I was just about to say, just so they could get
$150 paycheck gets you 3 Supreme shirts shipped to your house. Like, you know, you don't really get much.
Yeah.
But like $3 shirts, it's like a $3 shirt, 666 shipping anywhere in the USA. Like you can get a shirt delivered to your house once a month for $9.99. So literally under a $10 bill, you could get a fresh shirt shipped to your house every month.
Bro, that's awesome. So being an entrepreneur, how important is it to rebrand?
I mean, I've worked on like 3 or 4 different clothing brands. Yeah, Ruthless
You
to
were and within helping others.
Ruthless to helping others on their stuff. To Grimaldi, which is like my cut and sewn brand, which I still do. It's kind of like my personal art project. I barely release things with it. It's more like when I'm really feeling it, like as like a painter painting on a canvas. Like you're really feeling that. So that's like a very like emotional, like close to me project. So I'm gonna still release stuff on that. I'm trying to get a collab with Grimaldi's Pizza.
I know. I did see you
They
say
just
that.
DM'd me the other day, finally, after months of ignoring me. So
That's awesome.
Let's see where this goes.
No, that's sweet, man.
But it's really important to rebrand yourself. I think even more as a musician than a designer, because there's like if times aren't like what kids are into, what the youth is into, isn't going to always stay the same.
Yeah, exactly.
So you could either slowly die out, or you could try to advance and keep up.
Transcend.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, if Half Evil could collab with any other brand out there, which brand would you pick? In other words, what would be your dream collab?
Wow. Something, I don't know, it would have to be someone I grew up being a fan of. I love that. Like when someone I grew up like as a young kid.
And then you wanted to work with.
And then I get to work with them. I would love to collab with Bam. On just like a t-shirt or something. I would love to collab with Dom from Brockhampton, if you're listening to this right now. I would love to collab with. Have you seen Elon Musk's The Boring Company?
Yes. Yeah.
He has merch. I just spent my money on a hat.
I didn't even know they had merch for that.
Yeah, he has merch. I would love to make something like that.
Okay.
I want to collab with. Honestly, I want to collab with more musicians than I do clothing brands.
I see you're working with Jida on something, right?
Yeah, I'm working with him. We could get to that after, but I'm working with him on something for artists, like actually, painting and digital artists.
Oh, okay.
Not even on clothing.
That's awesome.
We're working on like a little print website.
Oh, all right.
So basically, same concept as Half Evil, but with art. We want people who enjoy art to be able to have affordable art.
Okay. Interesting. That's cool. Like that's just something that's different. No one else has done it, so that's sweet, man. What advice would you give to a young visionary looking up to you right now?
Put in those extra hours. Don't be afraid to I know people are like, oh, like it's so cool to not work a job. I was working 2 part-time jobs after high school to put money into the things I wanted to. Don't tell people don't let people telling you that working a regular job is lame. It's everybody started somewhere.
Exactly.
I was working when my first piece blew up. I was on shift at Bed Bath & Beyond, stocking shelves, and I got 2,000 retweets on a hat, and I was I'm hoping I don't have to be here much longer.
Yeah, exactly.
So don't be afraid to put in those hours. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself, especially if you're young, living with your parents. Because when you move out and when you get a real crib, real bills, real responsibilities,
you got to pay for all that.
You're not going to be able to put as much time and money and energy into that. So if you're young, don't be afraid to put in those extra hours. Don't be afraid to skip the parties and stay.
So what you get when you don't care about the party scene.
If you're not working, there's someone that's working.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're putting in 40 hours, there's someone putting in 45 or 50. You have to be when we ship out orders, we're literally doing 50 hours of shipping in a week.
Oh yeah.
Me, him, and usually we'll have one other. He's my main. Kyle's always been my main guy. We'll usually have one other person. One person will be doing folding, one person will be doing bagging. I'll be doing labeling and orders. You're gonna have to put in those extra hours.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So persistence drives visionaries on the come up. What are some key tips to keeping on a track with a clear goal?
That's something I've struggled with. A lot of us who release clothes, I've noticed, will get afraid. It's all right, we sold 50 pieces on our last drop. What if we don't sell 50 on this new one? All right, it's boom, and then we'll sell 200 first hour. But it's the scariest point is a lot. I guess what I'm saying is a lot of people.
The anxiety.
Yeah, the anxiety. A lot of people will quit just because they're afraid of the failing, as opposed to actually failing. But so one thing I guess I would say to people is don't be afraid to fail. I follow Gary Vee. I don't know if you're.
Oh, I love Gary Vee.
Gary Vee is one of the people I would love to work with. He just was on a no jumper thing.
Yeah, I was just about to say I saw him in Adam.
He's with the youth.
He really is.
He's with the youth, but he says he almost prefers to fail.
Because it teaches you.
Yeah, if you fail and everybody doubts you, then when you start winning, they're gonna be oh, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, exactly. No,
Like I got arrested February for smoking and driving on some really disappointing stuff. Right, Kyle?
Yeah, it was a terrible Super Bowl Sunday.
It was a terrible Super Bowl Sunday. We were looking for drunk drivers and we blew zeros because, you know, I don't really like drink like that.
Yeah.
But like that, it's like everybody seeing my mugshot that I grew up with, that was really like disappointing, and it's like that knocked me back into like.
I feel you.
But I mean, now when I win, nobody expects it. Now when I make more working for myself than my teachers make, no one expects it. It's better to fail. I mean,
and then come back.
All the expectations for people, like, you know, so and so is going to be the greatest. So and so, nah, just get all those expectations off the table and work for yourself.
Hell yeah, man. So to end the interview, what do you have planned next for Half Evil, and what are your long-term goals for your career?
We're releasing our first collection on Black Friday. It's going to be 5 pieces of clothing and 2 accessories, a mug and a lanyard. And the whole collection, all 7 pieces, including shipping, even international, is going to be under $150. We want people
awesome, man.
We want people to be able to afford the product. We want people to get fresh clothes every month. People who can't necessarily buy a new outfit every month. We want to be able to do that.
Yeah,
it's dropping.
I'm excited, man.
And a pop-up in Chicago, probably January, February.
Can't wait, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show. This was a great episode.
Thank you for having us.
Hell yeah, man. I'm glad that we can do something for the culture together.
No, I love seeing people from Connecticut win. I want to see more people from Connecticut win. We need to be like Atlanta, where everybody's working together. And everybody's pushing each other up instead of thinking that there's not enough room in CT to go around.
Be like what Megan's doing. Like, she just created
shout out to the mom of our group chat.
Yeah, shout out Megan.
For the people who don't know, we have like a 30-person group chat that we're all a part of.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just people like pushing each other up on Twitter.
It's non-stop, just like
that was one of the best ideas I've ever come up with.
Yeah, bro, like, because I didn't know, like, before the breakthrough like started, I didn't know like anybody in that group chat. I didn't even know they made music. Like, I didn't even know Lonnie X. And now, like, Lonnie X is one of my favorite artists. Like, he's coming on Saturday.
Lonnie is next from Connecticut to blow, if I had to guess.
Oh, yeah.
Mar 90s is going to be the first rapper from Norwalk to blow up, if I had to guess.
Okay.
Mike's on his way up.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. Say Curl.
There's so many people in our group chat. Dom's killing it. Brockhampton is going to reach levels that Odd Future never did.
Yeah.
And I love Odd Future.
But Brockhampton is just
Brockhampton is winning. There's no one in their field.
That's awesome, man. So we're gonna fade off with the song "Sweet" by Brockhampton one last time.
My skin and my bones.
Okay.